step, but we move. Talent, here we go. Next level. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning and welcome, Susan Ihuama. So, yes, it is a full house, and why shouldn't it be a full house? Because today is the first edition of Her Lens right here on Women Radio 91.7. We're proud of all the work that we're doing, and yes, we are revamping to serve you even. You're also welcome to call in and let us know what you think. But welcome this baby. The phone lines are open 07000 917 Our toll free number for women to call in 0800 1235917. And don't forget our text and WhatsApp line 08155 91791707031756537. These are the lines for you to get to call us on the program Her Lens, formerly Panorama. Well, let's delve into the discussions, and yes, we will be looking at it from her lens. Yeah, there's this talk about a lecturer in Clifford University back in Abia State. Now, he's been suspended over alleged security sexual harassment of teenage student. Particularly, this student was 17 years old. Now, the video actually came out on social media. A man was videoing this man, and he was so angry, he was so distraught. The fact that this lecturer sexually harassed this teenage student. Even in that video, it even showed that the lecturer had a bed inside his particular room with a bed inside. And it's just so disgraceful, isn't it? Yeah. But what happens to cases where lecturers like this do not make it to the limelight, where people are afraid to even go after them and say, you've done this? I know that there have been measures by, university systems to ensure that such lecturers are made to face the full wrath of the law. And now we're even seeing that the Abia State University, Clifford University, they took a swift action, suspending the lecturer who happens to be Mr. Obioma Ngogu indefinitely. This they did on May 29, 2025, announcing that he would also face a staff disciplinary committee. They had to take this action right after this news story broke out. The allegations were brought to light by the Behind Bars Human Rights, a human rights group that wrote petitions to the university management as well as, the divisional police headquarters. The group's director, Marvelous Ochubu, praised the university's management for their prompt response, but emphasized the need for fairness and accountability in the investigation. He also appealed for protection for the female student from any possible and potential victimization. Well, let's get to talk about this, but let me take this call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, you do well to call us back, okay? So that we can have an interesting conversation together right here on Panorama. Now, if we look back in time, according to a 2018 survey by the World Bank Group's Women, Business and the Law Project, 70% of female graduates in Nigeria have experienced sexual harassment in school, community, commonly from classmates and lecturers. And in recent times, several lecturers across Nigerian public tertiary institutions have been indicted for sexual misconduct, with some facing disciplinary panels and others even being dismissed. Now, the Senate's bill prescribing a 21-year jail term for lecturers guilty of sexual exploitation is yet to be signed into law, despite its passage in 2021. Winabo, let's look at this from her lens. How important is it that this bill is passed into law, given that even with the fact that it's all out there that the Senate is making some level of progress, with making sure that these people are made to be held accountable, they are not relenting on holding back their sexual urges when it comes to harassing, female students.
Thank you, Miracle. You see, we don't have enough measures in place to serve as deterrents to this very shameful act. Okay, you just mentioned it that there's a bill that has been hanging somewhere and it is yet to be pushed into becoming a law.
Mm,
So, and we know the National Assembly for their promptness when a bill is going to serve their interest.
mm,
Do you understand?
mm,
So, is it that they do not understand the gravity of sexual harassment, or what is it that is delaying the bill? Because we have these stories, one too many everywhere. No state is left out. North, south, east, west. Everywhere you go, these stories are there. And these stories have solved a lot of things. You are lawmakers. We didn't put you there to serve your interest. We put you there to serve the interest of Nigerians, especially our children. So, what is the delay about? Why is that bill being delayed? Having said that, even the few, I'm going to be looking at the register now. Miracle, let me ask you: have you come across the sexual harassment register before? Those who have been convicted.
mm.
I mean, where is the register? How do I access the register? How very well known
Known is this
is this
register.
register?
Mm,
Because if this register is at our disposal, it will be something you easily go to. Just
mm-hmm.
like you surf the internet, you go to that place and you look through all the names. Peradventure, you come across somebody say, oh, Mr. Lagbaja too was convicted for this. Do you
Yes.
understand? Because
Mm-hmm.
we live in a country where we have not been able to harmonize a lot of things in terms of records and all of that. So some of these suspended from a particular school, they will approach another school and continue this their shameful act. But if this register is very, very available to anyone who seeks to observe what is inside, or it is something that you can easily access, and it is something that is not cumbersome. It's not as if you are going to go to law school to understand what they are written.
Mm.
It should be plain, in plain, simple English. I think it will serve to an extent a deterrent, but everything is not just working together to to form a deterrent for this shameful act. And I particularly appreciate the fact that Clifford University Management, were swift to take action on this matter, and they should be, because they are yet to. I mean, they have not made that name like other private universities. They are still
Mm.
upcoming, so they cannot afford such taint on their
On their
image.
name. Mm.
So it is better that they acted promptly, and then it shouldn't stop at suspension. They need to investigate, and peradventure there are other lectures, because it is not possible that this is the only man involved in all of this.
A faculty officer, for
Do
that
you
matter.
understand? I mean, a lot of girls will pass through this man. A lot of girls will have reasons, a lot of students will have reasons, female students will have reasons to go to his office. And this man quietly and calmly kept a bed in one corner. Is he the only one keeping a bed in the
Mm.
corner of his office? Let's look around. Let's not limit the investigation to Mr. whatever his name is. Let us look at every office. Who keeps a bed in
In
the
their
office?
office.
So
Mm.
let's look, let's check out.
What are you keeping the bed for?
Do you understand? If you want to sleep, please lie down on the floor
Mm.
and stop keeping beds in your office.
You know, Ibn Abbas, some would say it's not even a conversation about the bed. Some have chairs. Some force these girls on chairs, on tables.
Good, but at least let's begin with the bed.
Mm.
And it shouldn't stop with this man. Do they have a desk where you can report any form of sexual harassment? Do they have such a desk? If they do they have people who have been trained to man this desk? Because sometimes, you have the desk just to fulfill all righteousness, and then students go there to complain, and all you tell them, you say some things that will discourage others from going to, make their own
Mm.
complaints too. So it is imperative that our schools have a good understanding of the damage sexual harassment, does to the psychology of that student that has been harassed. It is important. I know, if I used to have a friend, used to, she's still my friend though, I beg. She was sexually harassed
Hmm.
by a well-respected personality in their community because her parents, had financial crisis, so they had to spread out the children. You go and stay with this person, and she had to stay with a particular family. And her parents were so happy that that family took her in because they respected the man of the house. So he was highly placed. Meanwhile, the wife was, due to whatever she does, she was always traveling. Each time she traveled, he would abuse this girl sexually. Each time they visited her parents, the way her parents would be all over this man and his wife, she never had the courage to even tell them. So she kept everything to her chest. And the only thing she did was she buried herself in her studies. That the only escape for her
was to get into the university and leave.
So that was how she left. And she couldn't even tell her parents until she clocked 40. Because she said, sometimes you are afraid. What if I tell them? What are they going to do? What if this thing blows up and then I become the victim at the end of the day?
What if she got pregnant?
The man was giving her something.
Oh my God.
Each time he messed around her, he would give her a glass of whatever. She even came down with, after some years, she came down with liver problems. But we bless God, she's married, she has children, she's doing well in her career. But she was just a lucky person. We have had stories of where all these shameless people will sleep with innocent. Next thing you hear is the child dies, and nobody would even, no autopsy, nothing. But the person who did it would know within himself that he killed that child. So until, if our legislators could be, snail walking on passing this bill to law, then what do you think is happening in society?
When you said that, it even raises the question of, does it mean that they within their quarters are doing same, which is making the snail walking a lot more slower in passing this bill into law? But these are the conversations that we're still going to be expanding right after this break. Don't forget, it is still Her Lens on Women Radio 91.7.
WFM 91.7.
Are you looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates, or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience. 0.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 090598 0806 009 2137 or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
láti sanwó kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ń bọ̀ yìí.
máa ń jáyà bóyá máa lè parí ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mi. ìnira ìnáwó pọ̀ débi pé mi ò kí ń lè gbájúmọ́ ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mi.
ṣùgbọ́n báyìí ìrètí ti wà pẹ̀lú nelfund, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bíi tiẹ̀ á lè mú àlá rere yín ṣẹ láìsí ìṣòro ìnáwó.
ṣé lóòótọ́?
báyìí o lè gbájúmọ́ ohun tó ṣe pàtàkì jùlọ, ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ. ètò ẹ̀yáwó wa tí kò ní èlé lórí ti wà báyìí láti rí i dájú pé ìrìn àjò ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ rẹ lọ geere láìsí ìnira. yára báyìí kàn sí www.nelf.gov.ng, fi ìdáhùn sí ìwé ìbéèrè àyè kó o sì máa retí àbájáde ìwádìí nípa rẹ. lẹ́yìn àrídájú ìwádìí, nelfund á sanwó iléèwé rẹ, wọ́n á sì fún ọ ní owó ìsàpòrò. bó ṣe rọrùn tó nìyẹn.
Nelfund, àwa sanwó, ìwọ akẹ́kọ̀ọ́, wàá sì ṣàṣeyọrí.
Nelfund jẹ́ àgbékalẹ̀ Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu.
Over 55,000 nursing mothers in disadvantaged communities in Jigawa State, Nigeria benefited in improved health and living standards through the Silver Lining for the Needy initiative. 25 expectant mothers with pregnancy complications received free ultrasound scans. Over 100 individuals, including orphans across 4 14 states benefited from antiretroviral therapy dedicated to eradicating hepatitis in Nigeria through distribution of hepatitis B and C vaccines, treatments, and awareness. Hawa Abbas Hadija is a trailblazer in public health. Hawa Abbas Hadija, an iconic woman of our time. An iconic woman of our time is an initiative of Stead Ives Communications, Women Radio, Voice of Women, and supported by MacArthur Foundation.
The Women Radio membership connects you with other women traders, entrepreneurs, students, homemakers, farmers, and pensioners in the 36 states of Nigeria. As a Women Radio member, your business is promoted free on Women Radio. Win amazing goodies and you get access to our events. Download Radio app today and hear your voice on radio. Register free at wfm917.com and make sure you join the Facebook Women Radio membership group. The Women Radio membership is
Call for volunteers. Are you passionate about women's leadership and governance and want to be a part of the VOW movement, empowering women at all levels? Then join us at Voice of Women Empowerment in partnership with Women Radio 91.7. As we prepare for the Night Voice of Women Conference and Awards, VOW 2025. Join us in planning and administration, event coordination and logistics, media and PR, guest relations and invitations, sponsorship and partnerships. Location is hybrid, Lagos and Abuja. Contact us via email project@wfm917.com or vow@voiceofwomen.ng or simply call us at 080-374727. Let's do something impactful at VOW 2025.
Sell your market on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Are you a member of our Women Radio network? Are you a trader? Do you own a business? Do you want to increase your sales? I have good news for you. To sell your market free with no charge every Tuesday 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Call 07000 917 917 09155 917 917 0800 1235 917. Sell your market and connect with customers far and wide for free. This is only for Women Radio Network members. Follow us on social media, Facebook, X, and YouTube at WFM 917.
Technology and fun. Get ready for Fun Tech, a great combination at She Talks Tech.
Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio,
where we share tech gist, tips and experiences on the biases women face in tech and learn about tech from women who do amazing work in the tech space. She Talks Tech.
Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. on Women Radio
91.7. Let's help you love tech as much as we do.
WFM 91.7.
Radio never sounded so cool. Welcome back. This is Her Lens, formerly known as Panorama, and it's a pleasure to always be here with you. I've got my ladies with me, Ibinabo Dixon, Buki Femi Ajala, as well as Susan Ihuoma, and we're getting to dissect stories from her lens, from her perspective, from her side of the story, and we're hoping that what we get to do on this program is even a lot more life-changing as we delve further. We started the conversation talking about the fact that Abia State University in Abia State, we're talking about Clifford University, has suspended a faculty officer over the alleged sexual harassment of a teenage student. And the student was 17 years old, a female law student. So they've suspended him and they said he would face a staff disciplinary committee. Now we expect in different university institutions across the country. Like I shared earlier, there have been calls for the passage of the bill to ensure that lecturers who are found guilty of sexual exploitation are made to face the full wrath of the law. The Senate bill prescribing a 21-year jail term is yet to be passed. Is yet to be signed into law, despite its passage in 2021. And this is a problem. it's a problem, because how does it help with enforcement of this moving forward? I want to expand deeper now with our ladies in the studio as far as this conversation is concerned. Buki Femi Ajala, there is such a thing blaming when it has to do with these issues of sexual harassment and having to deal with it. What role do you think it plays in discouraging female students, especially from coming forward with their complaints? If you saw that video, it was a man, two guys, shouting at the lecturer, pushing the lecturer. You didn't hear the voice of any woman. And, it says a lot about the fact that, when these things happen to women, it usually would come out to speak and not hearing the women speak boldly.
It's not all the time. I guess it's just the way this itself. Women actually speak. Do we want more women to speak? I can say yes. But I know women speak. Case where we looked at where this man raped the niece, the niece, and left her in the marketplace. It was a woman who actually broke, the story and called it the vigilante. Women actually speak, but we want more of them to speak. Now we are moving from that era of what did you go and do there? What did you go and wear? And all that, where people are getting aware, they're getting educated, that it's really not about the fact that somebody was somewhere or somebody was putting on a particular dress or whatever it is, but now their eyes are open, like we say in Nigeria, so open, to understand that, hey, it is the man or the perpetrators that, they are not disciplined. You are free, as a child to move around. But whoever you go to meet, is an issue. Let's look at this case. She complained and she went to meet a faculty officer. And that is a strategy that the man has been using. I don't want to belabor the subject because it's in the public, and of course, they will handle it. But I think we need to go beyond all this. That has set up a committee, and these things do happen. Somebody somewhere must be hung for that. Because if you have set up a committee of information, because people will say this and this and this, and once you begin to note that a particular name is occurring, then you probably call the person and give them this again. But here now, the person was saying that things fester like this. It is because the person who is supposed to, to change it is not doing anything. Probably part of the system. And we also need to look at that angle. But honestly, I give it to anybody. As far as I'm concerned, they are human beings. Either it's woman or it's man that will bring it open. And I think it's time for men to actually begin to stand up for it. And I love what I'm hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.